What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series Ahsoka Tano figure. Now I'm really glad I have this figure in hand. It actually took me a really long while to track it down. I didn't want to pay online prices, and by some miracle I did find her in stores right on the shelves, and really happy I have her in hand now. But she does come in the standard Black Series packaging. We do get the black box with the red background. A nice image of Ahsoka right here. She is the 20th figure of the Black Series line. And then on the back we have a little bio. It says Ahsoka Tano, Anakin Skywalker's apprentice. Ahsoka Tano left the Jedi Order before it was destroyed during Order 66. She would re-emerge years as Fulcrum, a leader of the fledgling, I think that's how it's pronounced, rebellion against the Empire. And then again we do have the image of Ahsoka right here. Again, really glad I found her in store, so what I'm going to do now is take a little break, get her opened up, and then we'll go on to the rest of her review. So sit tight, everyone. And here we have Ahsoka posing out of the packaging. Let's actually show off her two accessories before having a look at the figure. As you can see, she does come with both her lightsabers, and let's see if I can get these out of her hands. It is a little tricky getting them in and out of her hands, only because her hands are kind of a rigid plastic, and then her lightsabers are really soft plastic, as you can see. I don't know why Hasbro went this route with the really gummy lightsabers, but it does make it a little hard getting them in and out of her hands. So let's actually show off the handles. They're mainly done in this silver plastic, but you can see there is some paint detail on them. The ignition on this one is almost like a bronze color, maybe copper. And then we have the black grip, and I don't know what parts these are supposed to be, but they are there on the lightsabers. And if you really want to, you can actually take the blade part off each of the lightsabers themselves and just have the lightsaber handles as they are now. Unlike in Rebels, they don't combine. Unfortunately, it would have been cool if they came with another piece that you could put in there and have her with both lightsabers. But they do fit on these little hooks that you can see. You just slide those on, and there we have her with her lightsabers unignited. The blades right here. I'm going to say that putting the blades back in is a little bit of a challenge, because these aren't as soft as the lightsabers themselves. If you're not careful, you can actually accidentally bend one of these, maybe cause a stress mark. It's really hard to say, especially because these are firmer plastic than her lightsabers. It should actually be, firm plastic with firm plastic. Really confused on why Hasbro went that route, but you can have her with her lightsabers at her side, and that's still a really nice image. But here we do have Ahsoka out of the packaging. Let's move her lightsabers off to the side. Well, the blades anyway. And let's actually have a look at her detail. She's no Jedi by any stretch of the words. That, of course, is her words, not mine. But they did a really good job on the paint, although there are some errors right here on her crown, head, whatever you want to call it. There's like speckles of blue everywhere, and the lines are all fuzzy. I don't know if you can see that. And then we do get a little bit of fuzziness there. But overall, still a really nice job, and as you would imagine, these do hinder her head articulation. You can get her to move her head left and right, but the ball hinge there, it's practically useless, so if you're expecting to move her head around, it's not going to happen. She is wearing this armor that we saw her wearing, so that's really cool. It does have some red and gold here, as well as some silver along the trim of it. Then we get down to her skirt piece, which this is actually a soft rubber, so you don't have to worry about that getting in the way of her articulation. And then we do get soft goods, which again, doesn't hinder her articulation at all, and we'll go more on that when we go over her articulation. The hand on mine is loose on the left hand, which is a little unfortunate, and she does have detail on the gauntlet here. They could have done a better job matching the paint there. Same thing there. But nice details overall on Ahsoka. We can see the paint isn't the cleanest on this figure, but it's still a really nice looking figure. And I gotta give credit where credit is due. I wasn't really a huge fan of Rebels, and I'm still not actually, but to be fair, I didn't even watch Clone Wars, but I do like Ahsoka's character. I think out of both series, she's actually one of the better things to come out of the Star Wars mythos. So let's pan the camera back out really fast. One thing to point out is that when you have her lightsabers off to the side, because these are a little bit softer, they do have a tendency to pop out like that. If they do, just simply push them back in. Try not to like warp the hooks. But if you avoid all that, you should be fine. Now that we've gone over her details and her accessories, let's actually go on to her articulation. She does have a ball-jointed head, although she can only look back that much, forward that much, side to side. We get a little bit of movement there. Not the greatest, but it is there. Arms on a ball joint go out to about that far. Do a full 360. She bends at the elbow, spins at the elbow, spins, and has a vertical or horizontal hinge right here on this arm. Like I said, this hand is really loose on mine. You can see I'm not doing much, and it's still moving around quite a bit. And then on her right hand, we get a vertical hinge, so we do get some up and down movement there. She has a ball-jointed torso, so we get a lot of nice range out of that, although she doesn't move forward all that well. That's as far forward as she goes, but she can go back further. I don't know why. That's really strange why the figure would have problems going forward, but nothing. Oh well, but she does have side to side and really good range of movement. It does swivel right there. Legs go forward to about that far, go back that far. They do go out, but only about this far because the soft goods does limit their range. She does have an upper thigh swivel, so we get a movement in her leg there. Double jointed in the knee, which is done really nicely. We get an ankle hinge, although on mine it is a little loose, so be aware that yours might also have that problem. We also do get her vertical pin for that, so we get a little bit of rocker ankles. And one thing I'm going to point out really fast before I wrap up the review is you can see she's leaning off to one side, and no, that's not an optical illusion, and my camera isn't on its side. One of her legs is actually shorter than the other. I believe it's her left leg that's shorter. And let me actually zoom in really fast. It is a little bit of a problem, seeing as how her left foot, as you can see, it doesn't have, it's not level with her right foot, and that's a little sad, but when you get her pose, you really don't notice it, so it's not that big of a deal. But anyway, that's Ahsoka for you, so what I'm going to do now is take a little break, get her pose for my final thoughts, then we'll wrap up this review, so sit tight everyone. And so here we have Ahsoka pose for my final thoughts. Overall, I really do think she's a nice figure, but I don't think she's as great as a figure that everyone's making her out to be. She's a really cool looking figure, but I really don't think she's worth the secondhand market. Now, I was really lucky in finding Ahsoka, because I walked into Toys R Us one day, I just checked the Star Wars section, and she was just sitting right there, so I had to pick her up. Couldn't pass on her. Ahsoka in the wild, who could pass that up? I know I couldn't, but if you're looking for Ahsoka, try getting her in a case with the wave she's in. I believe it's Luke, Kanan, of course Ahsoka, but I don't remember who the other figures were. But if you can get the case, I think that would be a better deal than paying like $40 for just Ahsoka. Why not just drop the $60 and get 3 figures? I don't know, that's just the way I see it. But I really am liking this figure, glad I picked her up. If you can find Ahsoka, I definitely recommend her, especially if you're a Star Wars fan, if you're a fan of Rebels and Clone Wars. She's going to be a must-have in your collection. And with that being said, guys, I'm King of Dragons 5000 saying don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, go check out all my other action figure reviews. All my Star Wars videos are also up. If there's a figure you guys would like to see me review, go ahead and let me know down in the comments. And if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. And until next time, I'm King of Dragons, and I'll see you guys later. Take care, everyone.